What's up? Lock It In Pod. Stephen Clark here. Dylan Engler. Doing a big video here. Recap. We're going to go over AP Top 25 poll. Talk through some of the games they played. Talked about some of the teams we like, some of the teams we don't like. What have you? Before we start, what have you thought of the season so far? I mean, we're approaching Thanksgiving tournaments, probably the best part of the season besides March Madness. What do you think going into that?
It's been a fun year, Steve. I think we were all really excited going into the year because of all the high major games on the schedule. I think the docket of games this year has been phenomenal. I give all these high major coaches credit for putting together a brutal schedule, man. Some of these teams have some gauntlets, and it's been fun to watch. And I think that the crowds have been engaged. I think the fans have been engaged. I think it's been a phenomenal start to the college basketball season.
I agree, man. It's been great so far. A lot to see all these new teams with new players and seeing how they fit and who doesn't fit. I mean, that's always
Yep.
I think that's the good side of the transfer portal as a fan, getting to see who meshes well, who doesn't mesh well. And
Yep.
they're big gambles, who knows how it's going to end up. But we'll just jump right into it. New AP poll, Purdue at number 1. They flipped with Houston. And not much to say there between Purdue, Houston, UConn. I think that's a pretty clear top 3. I think, obviously, a lot of people, like we said in the preseason, Purdue, Houston, like you're kind of like giving and taking who you're going to pick at this point. But UConn's looked pretty strong. I mean, they had a great win against BYU. They look great. I mean, they were shooting good percentages. Alex Carabin shot the ball well. Terrace Reed was a monster inside. Silas Demery was running the point for them well. I mean, they just look like a complete team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're coming off a big loss to Arizona today, UConn and Arizona. That's going to affect them for sure. But yeah. I think it's interesting to see the dynamic between that Florida and Arizona game early in the season. They kind of flip-flop positions, right? Florida was kind of in that 3 to 4 region. Arizona was kind of in that 9 to 10 region. After Arizona beats Florida, they kind of flip-flop, and they've been 3 to 4 and 9 to 10 respectively. Mm-hmm. I think Purdue and Houston is no secret, right? Like that was kind of the two teams we thought going into the year that they were going to be the best, and they kind of proven us right. I think Houston struggled a bit. I don't think that they have been winning in dominant fashion like you'd see out of them. But I mean, they're 4-0, 5-0, whatever they are. They haven't lost, and it's been good, man. Like it's been fun. I think Purdue and Houston are the clear top 2 teams, and I think after that it's interesting, bro. Like 3 through 10 is like high powered teams, really fun to watch. So yeah, Purdue, Houston 1 and 2, 100%.
You wouldn't include UConn in that 1A, B, 1B, 1C?
That was their last today. No, nope. Okay. If we're going tiers, it's like it's tier 1 is those 2, and then
definitely.
Yeah.
Let's get into Duke a little bit. I think we talked about this a little off the camera, but I'm a little skeptical of how Cam Boozer is playing against these high major teams. He's dominating when they play Western Carolina and Army and stuff. He's so physical and he's dominating these smaller defenders around the rim. But when they start playing better competition, like when they played Kansas, I mean, he struggled inside. He shot a low percentage from the field. He didn't finish well around the rim. But I think what's positive to see is just like the motor. It never stops. Like he didn't let it get down. Like I saw a percentage. Like he shoots like 56% from 3 in non-Power 5 games, but in Power 5 games he's 17% from 3. So what do you think about the team in general and Cam Boozer specifically?
Cam Boozer first. I guess that's kind of the hesitancy, I guess, with drafting him in the top 5, how well his game will translate to the next level. And I think that's somewhat, I guess, relatable in like a top 5, top 10, top 25 team in college, in the pros. I guess there's some relatability to that, more than there is against a low major team. So that's always going to be the problem with him. Like once he can't out physical a guy down low, how is he going to match up in the mid post? How is he going to match up outside on the wing? I like Cam Boozer. I'd draft him in my top 5. Mm-hmm. I just think there's a hesitancy there, if that makes sense.
I think he's got good footwork. I think it's just a matter of the efficiency around the rim.
He's his father's son, man. He's his father's son with a jump shot. Like, he's a fun player to watch. And like you said, he's got a high motor, which is always exciting to watch, I would say. And then with Duke as a whole, I just trust I just trust the staff. I think John Shire does a really I was just talking about this today actually. I think he does a really good job at putting the pieces together as the season goes along. He drafts or he doesn't draft. He takes
He
people out of the
basically
transfer
drafts.
portal. Yeah, literally. He takes people out of the transfer portal that like it's not necessarily the best talent, but it's the best fit for what they need to do.
Yeah.
He does a really good job at that. And throughout the season, those roles are going to get more defined, and they're just gonna they're good. They're a March team. They're a March team in my opinion.
Great
So, I'm not
example
worried
of
about
that
Duke.
from last year was Sion James. I mean, he was from
Absolutely,
Tulane,
yeah.
was not a super like highly recruited. I mean, obviously, yeah, he was getting recruited by a bunch of high majors, but like Duke recruiting him, it was kind of like it raised an eyebrow.
Yeah,
And
you're right.
like you said, that's kind of what Duke has been known for past couple years or however long for bringing in the top freshmen and like always bringing in the number one player usually and like just a bunch of
Mhm.
good freshmen. And like you said, he John Shire has done a great job at picking good veteran players out of the portal to support these
Agreed.
freshmen and to let them learn from them. So,
Agreed.
credit to that coaching staff. They do a great job managing their roster.
Yeah.
Jumping into one of the biggest jumps in the AP poll from 12 to 6, Louisville. Great win
Mhm.
over Kentucky at home. I think there's a lot to like with this roster. It's a deep roster. They've got a bunch of different facets to their game. Isaac McNeely and Ryan Conwell, and especially Michael Brown Jr. leading them at point. I mean, they just got so many different guards that they can attack from.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Louisville kind of has the dream scenario of any high major college basketball team in three parts. They have a really good freshman, they have really good transfers, and then they have a veteran presence that's been there, right? And they have
Mm-hmm.
all three. They check all those boxes. That's why I'm a big fan of BYU because I think BYU checks all those three boxes as well. I'm high on I'm high on Louisville. We'll get into it a little bit later, but I think Mikel Brown Jr. is him. I think he's really good, man. And I wasn't
Yeah.
as high on him at the beginning of the season. But watching him play, man, like that Kentucky game, that's special, bro. That's special. That's just not like a run of the mill like lottery pick. Like that's like okay, you're a dog. Like you are a dog. I like Louisville a lot.
Going next to number 7, Michigan, I would say a team that I'm not have been unimpressed by to start the season. I think we both kind of alluded to in the preseason that Lindenberg was going to be carrying this team, and it was his postseason accolades and stuff like that were going to be how good Michigan could be. Like, I mean, he's obviously going to put up numbers, but it's just a matter of how good Michigan can be. And
Right.
they have not been impressive so far. A 1-point win against Wake Forest, a 4-point win against TCU. I mean, I don't think either of these teams are, March Madness teams. They're not great teams. They play San Diego State and Auburn in the Players Era tournament coming up.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yep.
think those will be good tests for them. But if I had to make a prediction, I would say that they're not going to do great in this tournament. And I just think because they're going to get hit with some real competition, and they just haven't looked good.
Yeah. I mean, I think you hit it right there. That's good, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can talk a little bit about. I know you obviously like BYU. Tell me a little bit. I know you said they check all the boxes, but just kind of hammer in on those points you were talking about.
Yeah, right. The three boxes. I think the biggest thing is a true freshman that's coming in and is dominant, putting your school on the radar. AJ DeBanza obviously checks that box as big as it can get. He's been impressive. I don't think he's been a 10 out of 10, but I think he's been a really solid 8 out of 10, maybe 8.5 out of 10. Like he's had his moments, and he's had his freshman moments, man. He's 18 years old. Like every single freshman has their freshman moments. But yeah, they check that box. They check the box of they have transfers coming in that are really good. They did lose someone to a DUI, which sucks. You hate to see that, but they still have good transfers that have come in. Rob Wright, love Rob Wright. I think he's
Mm-hmm.
really really impressive to watch. And they have just returning players, right? Like they have guys that have been there for a while, like Richie Saunders, bro. Like who's not a fan of Richie Saunders? We've talked about it before. We love
Yeah.
Richie Saunders on this channel, so I think they check all three boxes. I love the NBA style, kind of how they play, very fast paced, a lot of spacing, a lot of cuts. They're fun to watch, and I love a team that's fun to watch. I just think it's easier to root for them. So
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of BYU.
Yeah, I agree. And they play a tough schedule too. I mean, they've got I say that, and I'm not fully aware of who they play coming up, but let me
I got it right here. You got Wisconsin next game, top 25 Wisconsin, and then Miami, Florida, who's been decent. Like Miami's been decent this year, and then they got Clemson later on in the
Oh, I
docket.
lied. They actually really don't have that tough of a schedule. I thought they would
Baptist
have.
will be easy, but
I thought they would have a way more. I thought they were playing in a lot of tournaments with. I thought they're not in the Players Era tournament.
Yes, not.
That's weird. Let's jump in at 10, 11, 12, three highly respected programs that I guess you could say all three aren't living up to their normal standard. Florida, obviously, they haven't moved. They haven't gone up or down, but I think a lot of people are skeptical of their guard play, which said before the season, I hit that hammer on the head.
You're on it.
Hit that head on the hammer. Whatever you say.
It,
but like I said, like their front court obviously is experienced there, and they're retaining a lot of the same guys. Like we knew they were going to be solid there, and we knew Thomas Howell was going to play great. But man, like Xavier Lee and Boogie Flame, they have looked rough. Like they have not shot the ball well. They haven't looked. It just doesn't look like the same team, obviously, because it's not the same players. And we'll see how they go in SEC play. I'm skeptical, to say the least.
Yeah, if I had a panic meter on Florida, I'd go maybe a 7 out of 10. I'm not fully like code red, alarm bells going off.
I agree. I think that's a great representation.
But yeah, I mean, there's some signs that we worried about in the preseason. I think you're right with that.
Going next to Alabama, sort of similar. They lost to Purdue at home. They played a good game. Phylon didn't shoot the ball well in that game. I think they could have fixed some things. They could have won that game. Like it's not out of reach to say like they could have won that game, and they could be 3-0 and probably be in the 6-7 range. Pause. Whoa.
Yeah. Come on, dog.
Come on, man. Anyways, but yeah, my panic meter is pretty low on Alabama. I mean, I think they've got all the keys. I don't think they're trending in the wrong direction, to say the least. But
yeah,
team that is trending in the wrong direction, Kentucky. That team looks all out of sorts.
First of all, I'm watching Alabama and Illinois game as this podcast is recording. 33-32, Illinois is winning. So fun game. If I'm turning my head, just know that's what I'm doing.
Okay, I got you.
I don't know why, but for some reason on Twitter, I'm like a part of like Big Blue Nation now, and I get like
weirdly, I am too. I am too.
I don't know how that happened. So like I just see everything about like Mark Pope and like how like that fan base is just like literally. We just talked about like 7 out of 10 panic meter for Florida. That is an 11 out of 10 panic meter for Kentucky.
Yep.
2 losses that like those aren't like terrible losses. Like Louisville's been really good. We're fans of Louisville, and then the Michigan State losses. They lost by 17. Like that was not a good loss. Like that was a beat down from start to finish. And Tom Izzo's obviously a legendary coach, but you don't love to see that from Kentucky. There's question marks. There's question marks all over that team. Otega Owe has not been the player that we thought he was. I picked him preseason SEC Player of the Year. Has not looked like that at all. Like he's been the type of guy that's like, dude, I don't even think you deserve to start.
Yeah, man, he's like shied away. Like he's been like just a player on the court, not doing.
No
much.
idea where he went. No idea.
Yeah, that's weird, but we'll see where they end up. I know they definitely got some more games to prove themselves. UNC, Gonzaga, that'll be a great game. Indiana, St. John's, Alabama, like they've got some. They can right the ship for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
St. John's, Texas Tech, 14-15. Texas Tech with the loss to Illinois, was it the other day? Yeah, I mean, didn't watch the game much, but I still like Texas Tech. I like what they're about. Everything revolves around JT Toppin. I keep saying Donovan Atwell is sneaky, great pickup for them out of the portal. I mean,
you did.
I think Texas Tech will fare okay. I'm not too worried about them.
Donovan Atwell is averaging 15 points a game on 47% shooting from 3. Steve, what a call! I mean,
come on, man.
You need a raise. You
just know confident shooters when you see them. Like I mean, I've seen him.
You're right.
I've seen him in person twice when he just lit it up at Citadel, and man, like you just know like he's a good shooter. So.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, dude. You were all over this Texas Tech team. You also said JT Toppin was like National Player of the Year up there, and he's been 24 and 12 a game. Like he's also killing it. So I might need to start listening to you a little bit more on this stuff, man. You might know what you're talking about.
What do you think about St. John's though?
I think that there's going to be bumps in the road at the beginning. That's what happens when you bring in such a big transfer class. Like it's rocky at the start, but I trust Patino and like it's just like it's I think they have the best transfer class. So I think it's going to sort itself out, but I think there's going to be bumps in the road at the beginning, and I think you're seeing that right now. Not that they're terrible, like they've been fine, but I do think there's some holes that we've been seeing lately.
Yeah. Yep. Iowa State, Michigan State, UNC, 16, 17, 18. Michigan State, man, they shot 50% from three against Kentucky. I mean, they blew Kentucky out. I think they said last season they only shot above 40% from three in a game 3 times.
Yeah, that's just not an ISO team.
Michigan State, like if they can put it together offensively, they are so elite defensively. They've got so many athletes. They play so connected that, like, man, if they can just string together a average offensive game, they can compete with anyone. So excited to see how they end up.
They'll be a top 10 team. They have two big wins now. They'll be a top 10 team.
UNC undefeated so far. They beat Kansas at home. They look pretty good. Seth Trimble's out with the broken hand from falling or something falling on him. I don't know what happened, but I need to do more research on that, pull some strings, figure out what happened. But they haven't looked super impressive. I think they played a semi-close game with Navy.
Navy, yeah.
What do you? I know we were a little harsh on them in the preseason, and because they were around like 25, and we were like I don't know, like I don't think they're like that, but
yeah.
Caleb Wilson has looked amazing. I think that's been the going factor for them. Him and Henry Vasar.
Yeah, I think that there's been so many voices around me lately that have been saying that he's legit and like he's a top 3 or 4 guy that I think I just need to start listening to it, and maybe that I'm wrong. Not that I think he's awful. Like I think Wilson's a good player, but
yeah,
I think people are very high on him, more high than I am. So like I said, I don't think I've been a huge fan of UNC so far. They'll probably be sticking around this range throughout the whole season, and they've had some postseason history, so we'll see how it goes in March.
Yeah, Caleb Wilson, he's still a little raw, but he plays with so much energy. I think
exactly.
It's fun to watch, and nowadays, honestly, those players are kind of a dime a dozen. So it's good to see. There's like one, like I said, like he plays with a lot of energy and passion, but like he also is like he's got such incredible length and stuff. Like that dunk he had against Navy coming down the lane was insane.
You got a couple.
Let's skip down 2 teams, ironically back to back. Arkansas, Auburn. Man, 2 teams that just have not looked the same. I mean, Auburn maybe not as much. Arkansas has looked terrible. Yeah. They played Winthrop.
Yeah, Arkansas. Yeah.
They played Winthrop the other night. Winthrop was up 3. They got a steal late in the game. They were down 1. Nick Pringle makes a layup and then literally like body slams a guy, picks him up by the jersey, throws him down. I mean, we'll talk about that a little later, but I thought that was an absolute blunder by the refs on the review and calling that like offsetting technicals. Like I thought Winthrop should have won that game. They also shot a terrible shot down the stretch to win, so I mean, can't blame them that much. But Auburn, on the other hand, I think they had that rough start against Bethune-Cookman in the beginning of the season. They play, like we said, they play in the Players Era tournament against some good teams, so it'll be good to see how they play against them and stuff like that. But let's say
Keyshawn Hall has been. Quick shout out to Keyshawn Hall. He's been really good at Auburn lately.
Yeah,
23 and 10 going into the season or during the season. Like I don't think he was on anybody's radar. I mean UCF transfer. Like he was. We knew about him, but like I don't think we thought 23 and 10 out of him.
Yeah.
And then Pettiford, man, like just hasn't been the guy we thought he was.
I was just about to say that he's been quiet, and I think in a sense of like not saying he's been playing bad, but like he was supposed to be the guy.
He's exactly. He's been taking a secondary role almost. Like he's like a secondary, maybe even like tertiary role. Like just not the guy that we're used to, I guess.
Yeah.
Or we were expecting.
Yeah. Kansas at 24, NC State in at 25. I mean, I know NC State. It's hard to not root for a team coached by Man, I'm blank.
Will
I'm
Wade.
absolutely Will Wade. I was blanking on his name.
Got it. You got it.
It's hard not to root for a team like that because you just know he's such a good coach that like you throw whoever out there, they're gonna play good. So yeah, saw them play against UNCG the other night. We'll see how they go later in the season, but. Kansas, I did not like Kansas. I'll say that they played pretty good without Darren Peterson against Duke.
Yeah.
I thought they played
They need him.
pretty well.
They need Peterson. I give Kansas a thumbs down, and I give NC State a thumbs up.
Really? If you had to pick one team that's in others receiving votes that you think should be ranked, who would you pick?
Good question, Steve. I don't know any others that are receiving votes, but
I'll give you the first 10. San Diego State, Indiana, Vanderbilt, Oregon.
Wait. Keep going.
Ohio State, Georgetown, USC, Creighton. Creighton dropped out from 23.
Creighton dropped.
Baylor, St. Mary's.
There it is, St. Mary's. I like St. Mary's. Fun team. I love that coach, bro. Talk about like just another coach that's been under the radar. And their Ken Palm stuff really favors them too, which I'm a big advanced stats guy, so I like St. Mary's.
Okay. All right, well, let's move into our next segment. We got a segment we like to call Movers and Shakers. And this is a segment we highlight some teams that are trending up or they're trending down. And
you don't want to be the one of those.
I'll kick it off with one, and I hope I didn't steal one of yours because this is like one.
You definitely stole mine.
Okay, let me pick one. All right, I'll pick one that I say maybe you didn't pick. Trending up, Louisville. Okay. Love.
That's one of mine. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate that.
My bad. Louisville, man, they looked impressive so far. They have looked impressive against the low major teams, mid major, against Kentucky at home. I'm looking at their schedule for the rest of the year, and I'm questioning who they will lose to. I mean, they play at Tennessee. That would be a tough game. And then Indiana, I think they'll go into Arkansas and blow them out. That probably is the ACC SEC challenge game. Tough game against Cincinnati. Actually, I lied. I'm tripping. They do got some tough games. But
he's good.
But I think better competition, more chance to prove yourself. If they can string together Cincinnati, Arkansas, Indiana, they could be rolling into Tennessee as a top 5 team.
You're right.
Which I definitely think is reasonable. So I think they're just playing with a lot of confidence right now. I like what Pat Kelsey's about with their team, and I think he does a great job of I think he quoted somewhere that he was talking about other recruits that didn't come there, and he was like, man, like they're going to regret it because like you come here, like if you're a guard, you come here, you're going to play loose and you're going to play foot. Like, I love it. You're going to have fun. It. So
what a quote.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm stealing mine from earlier. I'm going St. Mary's as one of my risers. They're 4-0 on the year. Beat a North Texas team by 30 points. They beat a Chat team that's always good by 20 points. They beat a St. Thomas team by 40 points, and then they also beat an Ohio team by 30 points. They've had 4 blowouts. They've been absolutely killing it. I think they rose like 25 spots in KenPom from like 50-something to 26. So love St. Mary's. Randy Bennett is a legendary coach, like I said earlier. I think his name kind of doesn't get mentioned as much as some other people, I guess, in the business. And if we look at the stats, man, like they're shooting really well from 3. Their player stats, they have a guy, Mikey Lewis. He's been there for his second year now, getting 22-3 and 4 a game this year. He's been impressive. They have another guy that's been there for another year. His name's Paulus M. Don't know how to pronounce his last name. Not going to try. He's been good, 17-8. That's a fun team, man, and I love Randy Bennett coach teams. That's like WCC, man. Who knows? They might make some noise this year, and hopefully it's another two-bid league. How about that? And then, yeah, those games are going to be fun with Gonzaga for sure. Those are 2 high-powered offenses this year.
Yeah, I was just looking at their schedule, and I don't see they're not playing a crazy amount of high major teams out of conference. So I mean, it's totally reasonable to think that they could put together a resume that, you know, as long as they don't get any bad losses, that, you know, it'd be hard to keep them out if they don't win the conference tournament. So we'll go to. I got another one, and I kind of alluded to this earlier. Arkansas in the shitter. I mean, they have been so unimpressive. I mean, they went into Michigan State. They didn't play a terrible game, They play Samford close at home. They play Winthrop close at home. I think it's, they're 4-1, and their only losses to Michigan State at the Breslin Center, which I mean, like, not a lot of people win there anyways. But man, they've got a gauntlet coming up. They've got number 5 Duke, number 6 Louisville, number 2 Houston, number 20 Tennessee.
Yeah.
All within the next month. Like, man, like that's brutal. I mean, yeah. I don't see them winning a lot of these games, to be honest, and I just don't like. This is a hot take. I'll give this a real hot take. I'm not big on John Calipari as a coach for this team. I think that I watch him coach, and I watch how he interacts with the players, man, and it seems like it just doesn't seem like they're on the same page. It doesn't seem like there's a connect there anymore, like he used to have. Yeah, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't feel confident in this team, and they've got the talent, man. Like they've got the guard play. They got like I said, Nick Pringle in the transfer portal. That big Brazil.
Yeah, no, we're fans. We're fans of Arkansas. We like Arkansas.
Watch. We talked about Brazil in a former video, and we were just saying like, man, like he's so talented, so athletic, like has the body of an NBA player, but like, man, the motor is just not there, and like that's what's held him back. I mean, when he finally tries, he plays well and he has a resurgence. And we're like, man, like draft boards, maybe, like, he could be a look. And then I watched him play. He played the 5 down the stretch against Winthrop, a mid-major. Winthrop had like a 6'8", 240, 250 guy in the game, like slow white guy. And they, probably from like 5 minutes to like 3 minutes left in the game. It's tie game essentially, or they're up 3 or whatever. Man, they were attacking him. Like they were seeking him out in the post. Like they were calling a ball screen, letting him roll, letting him seal, throwing in, letting him play 1-on-1, and he was giving no resistance. Whatever, they had to take him out and put Pringle in because like it was so bad. So it just was not a good look. I just don't like. I don't know how cohesive this group is.
Yeah. Well, with you, Steve. Well, going from one thing I'm sure we'll get a lot of clicks in John Calipari to one thing I'm sure we'll get no clicks in Loyola Chicago. They are my biggest fall-offs of this year so far. I think that's a program we always associate with winning. Like they've always been a power, not a power, but like a top 3 to 4 team in the A10. And I think that we trust Valentine there. Dude, they're 1-4, and their 4 losses have been bad, man. Like they have fallen in the standings. They've fallen in Ken Palm. Not what you want to see out of Loyola Chicago, especially like I said, man. This is just a team we associate winning with. Like I feel like they're always, if they're not tournament bound, they're always top 2 to 3 in that league. And the A10, I think they're going to be solid again. I think they're going to have another solid year, and I don't think this bodes well for the future of Loyola Chicago. I don't think it bodes well for Valentine, which is, these mid-major coaching spots I feel like are almost a bounce pad. Like it's like, you can either get there for a couple of years, do really well, and get promoted. And if you don't get there, if you don't do a good job, there's a million other coaches knocking on the door ready to get that spot, especially at Loyola Chicago, man. That's a historic program, one that's been really good in the 21st century. So, thumbs down for Loyola Chicago. Again, 2 thumbs down. Not looking good.
All right. Well, I think we touched on most teams. I think I don't know if either of us mentioned Kentucky. I mean, pretty obvious downtrend, but we don't need to go too much into that. We've already talked about that. Let's go into the next segment. We got ranking the 6 freshmen. AJ DeBansa, Michael Brown Jr., Caleb Wilson, Darren Peterson, Cam Boozer, and added Nate Ament in there. I think a lot of people are kind of like brushing him along, like, because Tennessee has been quiet. I wouldn't say they've been bad or anything, but like I just haven't heard a lot of what's going on with that team, and because I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But go through, start with 6, work your way up to 1. Rank these 6 freshmen for me.
We'll go back and forth. Is that cool?
Yeah, sure. I didn't even rank them, but I'll do it on the fly.
The fly. Okay, you might disagree with me the whole list. My number 6 is I think I'm just gonna do like where I'm drafting, like not necessarily who I think's been the best. I'm gonna cheat this segment. I'm thinking of where I'm drafting them. Number 6, I'm going Ament / Toa Pete / whoever you want to put in that last spot.
Okay, yeah, I think that's good to mention him.
Yeah, I think Ament's been fine. I think Koa Pete had a really, really solid first game and put his name on the map, but I think he's slowly been trending downward, and he's almost like a Cam Boozer-esque type of player, but just doesn't have the same. It's kind of crazy that I'm saying this because he dominated Florida, but doesn't have the same physicality, I guess, that Boozer does. Maybe I'm way off there, but I'd go whoever you want to put at 6 right there.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, and that's a good mention of Koa Pete. I think he had that, like you said, he had that great game, but I just think he, haven't heard much from him since then. I think yeah, him and Amin, they haven't been bad, but they've been quiet. I guess you said, and disregarding that first game that Koa Pete had. Well, I'll just snake it now. I'll go to my 5. I will go. Well, are we pivoting to, like you said? Are we like a draft board?
Do what you want, Steve. Do what you want.
I'll get on the same page as you. I will go to a draft board. Hot take, number 5 on my draft board for these freshmen. Funny, and well, sorry to ADHD moment, but like, funny enough, I was looking at a draft board. The first 10 picks were all freshmen.
That's awesome, man. You love to see it, though.
So
right?
this is essentially a mock draft. We'll just say my number 5 is Boozer. I think we've kind of alluded to it earlier in the video, but like, man, like he's so physical, which I think is a good plus. He's got a great motor, but he's not produced at the same efficiency against the high major competition. He's shooting low field goal percentage. He's not shooting the 3 well. But he's dominating against the low major games. They play Western Carolina or, whatever school he goes for 30 and 10 or whatever. But, I mean, you expect that. You expect a kid who's number 1 in the country and, a big, burly dude that's a physical, high motor player that he's going to outwork these guys. But how is that going to stack up when he's actually playing people his same size, his same talent? So that's my 5.
My 5 is, you're not gonna agree. My 5 is Caleb Wilson. Like I said, man, I think I was low on him at the beginning, and I think he's risen a little bit for me. Like I'd probably take Ament before him in the preseason. I think now I take him over Ament. I think he's raw. I love the motor. I love the upside with him. I just think that maybe I think there's a lower floor with him than maybe with some of these other prospects, just because if it doesn't pan out the way you think it could go really south. So I'd go him at 5. Not a bad 5. Like, yeah, I love getting him at 5. Before I go Boozer, I think I agree with everything that you say with Boozer. I just think that he's just physical, man, and like we just talked about. We talked about the last time we hit a pod. Like, NBA is all about trends. The NBA is all about trends. Last year was the first time that 2-point efficiency had matched 3-point efficiency. So for the first time in like 20 years. The 2-point shot had finally caught up to the 3-point shot. I think the trend for the last 10 years has been 3-pointers, 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 run and gun, run and gun. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a shift to like, okay, now that we've gotten so many 3-pointers, we got to get some dudes that can just eat in the paint. And Boozer's a guy that can eat in the paint. He's got a full year to kind of get his licks in with these high major schools, and I think he'll be fine, man. I go Boozer at 4.
I think just when you think about him in the NBA, like him matching up against Anthony Davis or, one of these like prolific like bigs like defensively, like I just don't see it, to be honest. But I flipped, like you said, when I was thinking of like draft boards, I flipped Boozer and Wilson. I have a Wilson at my 4, mainly kind of just repeating what you said. Like his ceiling is just so much higher. I feel like his game has so much more room to grow, but I agree with what you said. His floor is very low, which I think applies to the college level. And like, he may have a game where he just absolutely shits the bed and just goes like 1 of 11 and can't hit the broadside of a barn. But I think long term as an NBA scout, you're looking at the intangibles, like how well he moves. He has a great motor, just like Boozer, I think. So yeah, I would take Wilson above Boozer right now. My 3, I got Michael Brown Jr. at the 3. I think his playmaking and his scoring ability is so much more refined than some of the other guys we've just mentioned. I think he can get his shot a little bit better. So yeah, I think he's very he's impressed a lot of people. I think a lot of people didn't have him in the top 5 freshmen
Yeah.
coming in,
Yeah.
but he's definitely risen up.
Let's yeah, Steve, I think we're gonna have the same top 3 for this, so let's make it quick. I also have Mikael Brown Jr. at 3. I love him. He's explosive point guard. Fun to watch. He's dominated in the games that matter, especially the one against Kentucky. So big fan of Mikael Brown Jr. Almost has a little bit of a Donovan Mitchell game. I think he's a better ball handler than Donovan Mitchell. Kind of Louisville shout out there, but he's explosive. Maybe combo guard, undersized. Donovan Mitchell's undersized. I feel like obviously Brown's more of a point guard, but similarities there.
This
And
is
then
what was that? I was about to say one more thing. Weird comparison here too. I almost feel like he's a stronger, little bit bigger, maybe Jeremiah Fears, just with like maybe like his quickness a little bit.
I see it.
He's got a good burst. So, anyways, go ahead. My bad.
I feel, yeah, no, Fears is a good playmaker. I don't think I'd put Brown at the same level playmaking, but I don't hate that comparison. Number 2, I'll go Peterson. I'm a huge fan of Peterson, bro. Like, I think he's gonna be a really good NBA player. I think he's gonna dominate the next level, and I think you can see how much Kansas struggles without him. So I just feel like it's very obvious to see how much of an impact he actually makes when he's on the court versus when he's off the court. So I'll go him at 2.
I flip flopped. I'm going AJ at 2.
Okay.
I think Peterson is like you said, man. I think looking as an NBA scout, yeah, maybe you take AJ over Peterson just because, like, man, like you just see the future with him and like he's got a higher ceiling than Peterson. But man, like Peterson is he's just that dude. Like right now, day one, I think Bill Self mentioned that in the summer. Like he said, he was the best freshman he's had come in the summer, and a coach like that doesn't say that about a freshman in the preseason.
I agree.
Saying he's going to
100%,
carry us this season. I mean, he
100%.
said that preseason. He said Darren Peterson is the best freshman I've had, and he will carry this team. I mean, not like Andrew Wiggins was one of the highest recruits ever, and he didn't even say that about him. So I just think Peterson's a great fit. I think it will depend on the fit of the team that takes him. I think maybe if you get a team kind of like this last year's draft, like the Mavs, like they've got like certified pieces, like they're not necessarily a bottom of the barrel lottery team. Like they're a questionable, could be a playoff team with the right fit and the right people and not on injuries. Like man, like that could be a great fit for a team like that that's really searching for like one little piece. And I think he is a guy that like I'm confident like you could draft him and he'd be a plug and play player right away. Like you don't gotta wait on him to develop and all that.
I agree.
I don't know about AJ coming in and producing at the same efficiency that Peterson is.
Yeah, and I'll wrap it up. My number 1 pick is Devanza. My number 1 rule with like drafting is like if there's a unicorn, bro, you go get the unicorn. AJ's a unicorn. Like you don't see that like a 6'10" guy that does that stuff a lot.
Yeah.
And I have no worries about Peterson at the next level. But like, dude, if I see Devanza, like you just gotta go Devanza. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. I don't disagree. Like I definitely could be swayed either way. I think, but like I said, I think it just depends on the team. Like generally, I would say most teams should take Devanza, but if the right team comes along that needs a Darren Peterson, I think you take him number 1.
Sure. Okay.
So, all right. Well, let's go into our last segment. We'll call it Clubhouse Leaders. I think the most. It's kind of hard to give National Player of the Year after 2 weeks of college basketball, but we're going to do it anyways. We're going to give our National Player of the Year, Freshman of the Year, Coach of the Year, and Transfer of the Year. So why don't you kick it off with your National Player of the Year so far?
Okay, so originally I had Bruce Thornton from Ohio State, another guy that I felt like was like kind of like that 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 range of like people talked about him, but like it's Ohio State. Ohio State's never been super great, and he had some Big Ten recognition before the season, and I think he's been really good. So I originally had Bruce Thornton, but as we've done this episode and as I've thought about it more, I'm going JT Toppin. JT Toppin is phenomenal, and I think you kind of nailed that at the beginning of the year. I'd go JT Toppin, but I'd go Bruce Thornton in a close second. I think he's been really good.
Yeah, that's an interesting take. I'm taking Braden Smith mainly for the sense of he's on the number 1 team. He's playing great basketball. I feel like it's his to lose at this point. So
sure.
That's who I got. I'll jump into Freshman of the Year. I got Peterson.
Okay.
skeptical because I was kind of thinking about this before his injury, and I think that's obviously something you got to factor in. So if I had to pivot kind of last second, because now I'm just thinking about this, I'm probably giving it to Michael Brown Jr. I think he's made the biggest jump of expectations from the season. I think AJ was up there 1-2, and I don't think he's played really good, but I think Michael Brown Jr. has just really made that jump.
Sure. I like it. I like the pick. I'm going Devonta, 20 points a game, 7 rebounds a game, 2 assists. He's been shooting 57% from the field. Don't see that a lot out of a freshman. 40% from 3. The free throw line, we talked about it in the preseason, kind of a concern. 65% for the free throw line. We don't love it, but comes with the territory. I'll go Devonta.
All right, jump into coach of the year. Who's your coach of the year so far? Who's done the most with their team so far?
We might have the same pick. Does his last name start with a K?
No.
Okay, I have Pat Kelsey.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, no, I think he was really good last year, and I think that he garnered some recognition at the ACC level for Coach of the Year. And I think this year, he's been killing it. And you see Louisville, we talked about it earlier. They're one of the biggest risers, that we have. So I'll go Pat Kelsey.
Yeah, I'm going Kelvin Sampson. I just like
good.
Just a quick story, just watching them play. I forgot who they played, but they're 2 freshmen, Fleming and Senag Jr. Senag, however you say his last name. They had pretty decent games offensively, but in the
I know what you're talking about.
In the post game
presser,
Sampson was just like, man, they better come to practice. They just shot 0 for 20 the way they played defense, and I just think, man, coaches like that are building young men instead of just building a basketball player. You can just tell they're coaches that are genuinely invested in the players, and I just think that those are the great teams. Those are the teams that stick together. They don't get a lot of people that transfer out. They retain a lot of their players. There's a lot to like with that coaching staff. So and they're 1-2. I was thinking either him or Matt Painter. I think I just think you got to give it to the 2 number 1 teams. So transfer of the year, who you got?
I got my boy Bennett Sturts, man. I think he's been really good at Iowa, and people were kind of on the fence. I think people were big fans of Bennett Sturts going into Iowa, but I think he's proven them right. 20 points a game, 6 assists, 2.5 rebounds. I think that you love to see out of Bennett is he plays just every single minute of every single game. I mean, he gets run to the ground every game. So I think they've been impressive. Nobody really expected Iowa to be great, but they're 4-0, have some decent wins. And I think they're a solid team. I mean, I think Bennett Sturts has been really good and kind of flying under the radar. So I'll go Mr. Sturts.
Yeah, I like that pick. I mean, I think I'm trying to look up his stats right now because maybe I'm just not in the loop. Like we said earlier, I'm just for some reason we're in the Kentucky Twitter and we're just hear everything about them.
Yeah, bro, it's wild.
I guess I'm not in the Iowa loop. I need to hit up Austin Ash to give me some information. But 20 points, 6 rebounds, 2 steals.
Look at the splits.
57, 47, 88. Yeah, he's playing good. We'll see what it's like when they get into conference play and stuff like that. They've kind of been playing some cupcakes easy early in the season.
They had a good Xavier win.
Yeah, they got Ole Miss and Michigan State. That'll be in Maryland, Iowa State. So that's 4 in a row that are tough games. We'll see what happens with that. My transfer of the year, Silas Demery Jr. I alluded to it in the preseason. I like his game. I liked his game at Georgia, and I thought he really fits into what Dan Hurley's trying to do. But man, he played amazing against BYU. I think he kind of led that team, controlled the game for them. I mean, I think they fed off of his leadership and how he led that game. I mean, he had 21 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds in the Garden against BYU with all their talent and size. I mean, he's averaging 13, 4.5, 6 assists. It's. I feel like when you're as a transfer or a freshman coming in for Dan Hurley, you either buy in and you fit, or you stand out. And I think you stand out and you don't play. I think, not to harp on Aiden Mahaney, my bad, from St. Mary's. He transferred there, and I was gassed up for it. I was like, man, he's gonna fit so good in this. He's gonna lead this offense. And man, he just did not fit with Dan Hurley. I guess it was just too much for him. Some people just can't handle it. I mean, and it speaks to how tough-minded he is and how I think that this transfer for him going there is going to do light years for him for the next level in the NBA compared to if he stayed at Georgia. I think he would have put up great numbers at Georgia. Another year probably would have averaged 20. But this playing for Dan Hurley and leading this offense, the number 3 team in the country, just changes everything for him.
Agreed.
So, yeah, that's all we got for today. I mean, a little 45-minute long video wrapping up.
Perfect.
I think it's good. We touched on a lot of topics, touched on a lot of the teams trending up, trending down. It'll be interesting to see where they end up in a week, a month from now. We got, like I said, we got a lot of what's it called? A lot of Thanksgiving tournaments coming up. Mm-hmm. So we'll see where things shake after that. A lot of neutral floor playing and stuff like that. If you had to pick a tournament that you're most excited for this Thanksgiving, what are you picking?
The players.
Yeah, I think that's pretty obvious. I mean, Maui Invitational field is subpar to say the least this year. Even like the battle for Atlantis is like I don't know why. I mean, people need to comment and let me know why the reason is people aren't playing in these anymore. Maybe it's just because UConn went 0-3 last year and Dan Hurley just absolutely crapped all over the tournament and saying he's not going to do it again. I guess everyone's doing the same thing now, so I don't know.
Who knows?
All right, appreciate y'all listening in. We'll
catch you
next time.
Always good time, Steve. We'll see you.
Yep.